Thank you. Thanks, guys. All right. Happy Friday, everyone. There is a lot going on in the world. So let's hop to it and we'll get to questions. And it's been just a really crazy week. So as you all know, COVID cases are on the rise. And in speaking with local hospitals, infectious disease specialists here, the hospitalizations are starting to tick up. So, you have cases, hospitalizations, and then hopefully not, but deaths would be the next lagging indicator. Those hospitalizations are going up, and we don't want to get back to a situation like we were in the spring. So please continue to wear masks, continue to distance, continue to limit your interaction with others unnecessarily as much as possible. Again, here at City Hall, we aren't having a lot of external meetings. We're trying to limit those. And if we do have them, they're short, they're spread out as much as possible. And we're not doing any large gatherings, certainly. So please understand, what's going on and what the, what the risks are out there. We're seeing a lot of cases in other states that are going up, and images again of hospitals that are overrun with COVID patients, and we want to avoid that as much as possible. We did a tremendous job as a community in the spring, and I know we'll do a good job again this time. The other hot button issue this week going into next is the election. So 8 o'clock on Tuesday is the end of all of this. Please get your ballot into a drop box. If you have a drop box near you, there are 6 locations. Today is the last day for all 6 locations in the county. So if you're out working or something in Roaring Brook or Clark Summit, there's drop boxes there. Those closed today, but you can still go today. Monday and Tuesday, you can use the drop box at the Globe 123 Wyoming Avenue. That's now, of course, the Lackawanna County Government Center. There's a drop box there, opens from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. I dropped my ballot off there yesterday. It was super easy. It took about 10 seconds. So if you can, please get your ballot into a drop box. While it's not technically too late to mail it, we've really given all of the noise around mail-in ballots. At this point, it's best to drop your ballot off, or if you're able to go to the polls safely on election day, take your ballot with you, the entire thing. And either give it to I think that you can drop it there, or you can give it to the poll worker. They'll void it and you can vote in person. So today, Dropbox, Monday, Dropbox, Tuesday, that Dropbox at 123 Wyoming will still be available. Please get your vote in as soon as possible. No need to wait. I know I wasn't able to put it in the Dropbox while I was quarantining. I couldn't wait to get to that Dropbox and get mine there. So it's a bit of a weight lifted off of my shoulders now that I've finally voted, and I'm very excited about that. So please make sure that you're doing that and making sure those in your household and your neighbors are voting as well. Okay. In addition to, okay. In addition to the COVID concerns, flu vaccines. I forgot to mention this the last couple of weeks. It's really important that people get their flu vaccines. That way, we decrease the number of people who get flu-like symptoms, which it's really hard to discern between flu and COVID symptoms. We get flu vaccines, people will get sick less, and hopefully we won't have folks having to not go to work or not have childcare, that type of thing, because they have the flu and they're not sure if it's COVID or the flu. So please get a flu vaccine. Rite Aid, CVS, ask your doctor where to go. There's lots of ways to get a flu vaccine, so please do that for you and your family. A couple of public works updates that we have. The leaf pickup is going really well. I think we had just tons, literally tons of leaves that we picked up on this past week. So this last week we had leaf pickup, and then not next week, but the following week of November 9th, there will be leaf pickup following the paper pickup. Remember that the leaves have to be at the curb in a biodegradable brown paper bag. You can get those bags at the DPW complex on Poplar Street or at the Weston Fieldhouse on Providence Road. If you want more information, call our Public Works Department at 348-4180. Really important that we don't just leave loose piles. We can't pick those up. And also, if a day like today, it's very wet, those leaves just end up going into the gutter, into the storm drains, clogging them up, and then flooding our streets next time it rains. So please do your part. Bag up those leaves in a biodegradable brown paper bag. We'll pick them up the week of November 9th. And that we'll also follow up on the 24th, week of the 24th and week of December 7th. So you still have 3 different more weeks throughout the next 6 weeks. Okay, a cool thing happening. I know this probably doesn't apply to a lot of you out there, but we're excited about our Public Works auction. So this auction will go live on the 3rd. It will go through the 13th. You can think that the website is going to go up. Let me make sure I have it right here. Okay, the website is nepautoauction.com. And so Northeastern Pennsylvania Auction.com, nepautoauction.com. So we have vehicles that we've gone through our whole fleet and determined that there's some vehicles that we no longer need or no longer operate, and we want to auction those off. In the past, it's kind of unclear what happened to those vehicles, so we're trying to be better stewards of our fleet, which are, of course, paid for by taxpayer resources here at the city. So this auction will be the 3rd through the 13th. You can coordinate with our fleet services supervisor if you want to view the equipment, and it's an opportunity, really to sell assets and free up valuable space at DPW so that we can have more of our trucks in ready status as we go into the winter. So it really helps us out too. So thanks to the Public Works team for putting all of that together. Okay. We kicked off the Mayor's Volunteer Corps last week, and folks are starting to get out into the community. It's not too late to sign up. This will be rolling sign up for as long as we are here. So you can visit the link in our Instagram page or the Facebook page. I think it's on our website as well. On the emergency food front, the next food drive is at Parker Hill Church in Dixon City on Wednesday, November 4th from 2:30 to 5:30. Okay. All right. In addition, grants. So the city is accepting applications from nonprofit organizations for community development block grants, home investment partnership programs, and emergency solution grants for the 2021 cycle. You can apply for this at scrantonworks.org. We really encourage all eligible organizations to apply for these funds. All these nonprofits, you provide critical services to us, and we really want you to apply for these really important dollars. So scrantonworks.org will have more information there. Okay. All right. Did I miss anything? Oh, yes. Here we go. The fun stuff. Let's do some fun stuff. We have the Scranton Police and Fire Departments are participating in Trunk or Treat this weekend. So tonight from 6 to 8 at the East Scranton Little League, there will be a trunk or treat. So you can take your family and see us there. Tomorrow, October 31st, actual Halloween, 3 to 6 p.m. Between 500 North Main and 500 South Main and West Side. There will be trick-or-treating set up. Also, tomorrow night, 6 to 8 at the Hilton. It's a drive-through trick-or-treat. If you take your family, please wear a mask and please social distance. Our officers, of course, will all be wearing masks and gloves. Please, again, keep your distance as you go out trick-or-treating. I know it's not our usual, but we are trying to make sure that we have some fun along the way this year. So please socially distance trick-or-treating tonight and tomorrow. Everybody out there, please be safe. It's been a tough year, so let's try to have some fun. But again, we still gotta know that COVID is out there. So we really encourage people to keep following precautions. As we always do, this is a tough year for mental health. So if you need resources, 1-800-273-8255. You can also text TALK to 741-741. You can call 1-855-284-2494. The Women's Resource Center is 800-257-5765, or you can call 570-346-4671. And our non-emergency police line, as always, is 348-4141. One thing that I also wanted to mention is use of city resources for political events. The only time that the city can use resources for political events is if there is a dignitary visit or if there is an actual threat of violence. So the city cannot proactively guide a parade, for example, of a political parade. That's not something that we can do. A couple weeks back, we had an incident. As I said, that's a personnel issue at this point. That is not something that we can do. If there is any threat of violence, you can call us. We will be there. The Scranton PD will absolutely respond very, very quickly, but we cannot proactively be using city resources for political reasons. So please understand that it's not. It's just we can't do it. So please understand. Let us know if you need help. Again, the non-emergency line 348-4141. If there is a threat of violence, you feel threatened, of course, call 911, and our excellent police department will respond. Okay. So let's get into some questions. All righty. Sherry is asking, can we get some volunteers to clean up trash off the sidewalks? Yep. So Sherry, we do have volunteers that are going out, and certainly our parks and our public works folks try to help with that as well. If there's a particular area that you're talking about, please email us at scranton311@scrantonpa.gov, and we will try to get some resources out there. In 2021, we also have a new garbage can program that we're hoping to implement because we think we need more garbage cans. We still have a litter problem where I can't understand why people litter when there's a garbage can right there. We want to add some more garbage cans to make it even more easy and obvious to not litter. So Sherry, please do send an exact location if there's a particular sidewalk that you're concerned about. Presto is asking, any chance the corner of Maple and Cedar can get cleaned up, trees hanging over the sidewalks going up to South Intermediate? We can take a look at that. Trees are an interesting one because if they're on private property, that's actually the property owner's responsibility. So we can have someone take a look at that for you. Okay. And Al is asking, what is being done about drugs in the city? Are they being taken off the streets? So we do have a drug task force at our police department, and they are always working very hard on that problem, as is the DA, who I am always in close touch with. So I know that we have a problem here, and I'm grateful to our law enforcement for helping. That's also why we need and are so grateful for our community resources, our social services, mental health services, to try to cut these problems off at the root, address those root problems, address the reasons why people are looking to drugs in the first place. So as we all know, this isn't always it's not just a law enforcement answer. It takes the whole community and all those resources. And that's why at the city, we're always trying to get people resources, show you what those resources are out there. And we have great, we have the Community Intervention Center and other drug resources to help people with addiction issues. And that's a public health thing that I was thinking we'd do a lot more on this year. And we have obviously been dealing with COVID, but that is something that we need to continue to work on the non-law enforcement side now. Yep. Yeah. So Debbie's commenting about the south. So that stretch in West Side definitely needs more garbage cans. We need to be able to fund that. So that's something that we're trying to see if we can't get some private funding for. Oops. Okay. It's dangerous for me to try to go on the Facebook myself. I just lost it. Am I still on? Okay, sorry. That's what I get for trying to look at the notes myself, and I just this takes a team here too. Okay, we can give it another few minutes to see if there's more questions. It's a really busy time for everyone. There's just a lot going on. So the more that we can be there for each other, the more information that we can get out to each other, the more hard information and data that we can look at, the better off we are. So we think about all the noise that's happening right now about COVID, the rules apply. Small groups, don't expose yourself to large groups, to others unnecessarily. Wear a mask, socially distance. These things, the guidance is still the same. It's really, really important. On the election side, each one of us who's 18 on Tuesday or older, we have an obligation to exercise our democratic rights. And that one job is get your ballot to the ballot box or get yourself to the poll. If you go to the poll, bring your ballot so that they can void it. It's, just make sure that your loved ones, people in your household, your neighbors, make sure you're all going, but individually, just make sure you've done that. It's easy, I can say this myself. It's easy to talk about voting for months and months and months and months, but then you also have to do the action yourself, right? So don't delay, do it today. Those 6 boxes are still, they're still up at all throughout the county. While I wait for more questions, to the extent that they're coming, let me just read off where the boxes are. So again, final day today for these 5 locations: Carbondale City Building, Clark Summit City Building, Dixon City City Building, Music City Building, Roaring Brook City Building. Those 5 are open today. Roaring Brook closes at 3, Music closes at 4, Dixon City closes at 4, Clark Summit closes at 7, Carbondale closes at 5. After this afternoon, the Lackawanna County Government Center is the only one that will be open. They're open until 7 p.m. today, 7 p.m. Monday, and I guess 7 p.m. Tuesday. So get your ballot in, do your part. Okay. Oh, and there is a new test site in town. The Rite Aid on Kaiser Avenue is now a test site. So that's really exciting that we have a Rite Aid right here in the city that's doing that. Okay. Joan wants to know what was the press conference about yesterday. So Joan, the video is on our Facebook. So I touched on the Act 511 legislation, or excuse me, I keep saying that, the Act 511 court case, which the city prevailed in on Monday. But I wanted to make it very, very, very clear that that's not a declaration of victory. This is not something that is a celebration here at City Hall. To the contrary, while we're relieved that that $50 million isn't hanging over us, we have a long way to go in Scranton to make sure that our taxes are proportionate, that our taxes are effective, that we're doing a good job operationally here in the city, that we're managing the finances well, that the taxes that we are assessing make sense to businesses, make sense to property owners, make sense to residents. So it's very, very much what we're already doing is looking at all of this. But in addition, we've formed a mayor's tax policy working group. We have 22 people from local government, private sector, and academia who are helping us determine what our structure looks like now and what could it look like. So thinking really big picture, what are some taxes that we could maybe make a shift to that would ease the pain for property owners or ease some of the pain for business. We really, really, really want people to be able to pay their taxes, and we got to be able to collect our taxes. So we have to make sure they make sense. So this group will help us sort that out. None of this would go into the 2021 budget. We're wrapping up that right now, and we'll be delivering that budget to council and the public in a couple of weeks. So this working group will go into 2021. Potentially, we'd be able to make some changes in 2022. So that was what the press conference is about, in addition to talking about COVID and the election and making sure everybody gets their ballots in. So Tracy's asking, can you vote at normal voting spots this year? So there are a few changes. We'll share on our social media today. LackawannaCounty.org has that information. There's a few changes. Actually, do you have those right in front of you? Am I bringing me? Do you know that sheet? Sorry, I've got them right in front of me, so I'll just read them. I read these at the press conference yesterday. So thank you. All right. So in Scranton, there are 4 changes. Scranton Precinct 5-1, Jackson Heights is now going to the West Side Senior Center. 7-1, Boys and Girls Club now at the Cultural Center. 16-1, Washington West Apartments now at the Cultural Center. And we did have that tragic fire on Sunday at the United House. The United House is now at 9-1 is the precinct. United House now is going to be at the Cultural Center as well. So those 4 changes, again, lackawannacounty.org or votespa.com. You can see those changes. Tracy, that's a great point. Thank you for reminding me, because I did want to mention those. Yep. Debbie's asking about the tax commission. So Debbie, the meetings will be public. So those will actually be on Zoom. We haven't figured out all the mechanics of it yet, but the public will be able to view those and see the process as it unfolds. It's important and we would take any comments and suggestions. And part of this is that the point of this at this initial stage is to really think outside the box, right? We're not making policy, we're discussing policy options. So this committee does not have any lawmaking authority. There are 2 school board members, 2 council people, myself, but none of us can just unilaterally as a committee, we can't make law. So we're not making any policy decisions. We're just laying out some options. But as we go farther into those options, like later in next year, we would of course be wanting to solicit public feedback for that, and we can do. The public will be able to view these. We'll always be able to get questions, and I think that we absolutely will have a dialogue about it. I think that's a really good point. Okay, yeah. So Judy, if you can email about the cars on Prospect Street, if you can please email Scranton 311, then we can get that forwarded to. Licensing and inspections to see about that. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Once again, I really appreciate you all being on, and like Debbie, being engaged on not just these types of town halls, but as we go forward with the tax commission. Those of you who tune into city council, these are really important dialogues that we have, and I really appreciate it. So try to enjoy Halloween. Again, like please go to those, like especially I really like that drive-through trunk or treat that's happening at the Hilton tomorrow from 6 to 8. Be safe. I'm so sorry that we're having to do this. I know my family, instead of usually we would all go to one house, and I was so excited that this year would be the first year that Ryan and I would be taking our baby to the family Halloween party. Well, now it's a drive-by parade. We're all the cousins are each going to be in their vehicle, and we'll drive by the aunts and uncles. So it's still going to be great. Not as much fun as a pizza party with our costumes, but we're making it happen. So it's just going to be like this, right? It's just Halloween is going to be different. Thanksgiving, Christmas, other holidays, Hanukkah and other holidays are all going to be different than usual. But I know everybody out there is really most everybody's got a lot of creativity, and so figure out these ways that we can do it. And hopefully by next year, this will we'll look back and say, wow, we really did it. That was fun in its own way, hopefully. But have a happy, safe Halloween. Please get those ballots in. It's really, really important. No matter who you vote for, that you vote. So thank you, everybody.